Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this month's edition of Thrive. Permit me to share my screen very shortly so I can proceed to the presentation for today. So, welcome once again. I'm happy to have you guys around. How are we all doing? Trust we're doing fine. So, our session today, Thrive session that we are going to discuss today is titled Leverage. Leverage, how to use it for multi-dimensional success. How to use leverage for multi-dimensional success. And very interesting topic. I just played that short clip ahead of the session today because we're going to touch on some of the things that Dr. Cosmas Maduka said in that interview. Very profound, very deep. I'll still play it at the end of this session for those who did not join us from the beginning so that you can listen again and see what you can pick from there. So today we are talking leverage and how to use leverage for multi-dimensional success. And this is the chapter 48 edition of Thrive on this June 29 in the year of our Lord 2025. So, Latifat, I'm going to make you a close in case, okay, so it's even, so for us to proceed, these are some of the previous editions of Thrive that we've already discussed. The list is getting longer. That's why it used to be one slide, but now I have to split them into two slides. All the topics we've covered on Thrive, as I said, this is chapter 48 of Thrive with Babs. And these are some of the topics that we've discussed over time. We started with self-identity. We did a four session series on purpose. And then we looked at three-step leap, and then on and on and on and on like that. Still, the last two topics that we treated in the month of May, in the month of April, we looked at failing forward in April, and in May, we discussed strategic failure. We discussed failing forward and strategic failure. That is what the last topic we had. And as I always like to give an intro, the reference for Thrive, most of the references, or some of them, quite a number of them are drawn from the Bible, and then from personal reflections, from personal reading. But why we use the Bible is because of the enduring nature of the lessons, the relativity of the scenarios, and the universal applicability of some of the lessons that we can learn from there. So, but apart from that, we just basically my own reflections, my own meditation, my own observation, and what I'm also learning from reading or from just observing the vagaries of human life. So those are some of the, what we discuss at Thrive, where we get inspiration from, and where when we reference our our highlights and our points from. Then please pardon me if my face is oily. It's very hot in the US. It's crazy hot all over the place, and I think it's hot outside. I don't know what it's whatever is over there, but it's been crazy hot, and the AC just packed up this morning. Okay, so if I'm looking sweaty, that's why, because I think I'm seeing oil all over my face. So with a couple of last session, we discussed the concept of strategic failure, uh, the concept. They also discussed the principles. The good thing is that all these videos, we started putting them online, so you can always go to YouTube and watch them after the session. or whenever you have time or availability to be able to sit on them and then take notes. So we discussed the concept of strategic failure, the principles of strategic failure, the fundamentals of strategic failure. We also now, because we started with failing forward, we also now benchmark, we compared what failing forward means and what strategic failure also means. And then for some time, we've not been doing take home. So I'm not sure there was any take home given at the last session that we had in June. But today, as I said, we are talking leverage. Leverage. And the way we always start, I would like to learn from you guys because it's a sharing session, it's a learning session. I share what I've learned, and I also expect to get back from you guys. So it should be symbiotic, it should be give and take. So I would like to know what you understand by leverage and if you have ever used it at any time to achieve your goals. And if you've done that, how? What did you do and how did it play out? Anybody can talk, please. Leverage. Let's hear your thoughts about leverage, and then all of us can learn from your insights on the topic. Please, you have the floor. Anybody that is willing to talk? Leverage. Who is willing to build the cart? Who is willing to share with us what you understand by leverage, and if you've used it before, and how did you use it? Leverage, leverage, leverage. Anybody? Nobody's willing to share with us. Should I call name? I have to just call. Okay, so let me just call. I will call you guys. Then the person I call the next person because you are the last person to come. I'm calling you Gloria. Please tell us what you understand by leverage. If you've used it before, tell us what you did and how you did it. Then you can call
Okay.
another person to talk to.
Hey, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
So basically, my understanding of leverage is basically to, I may not use the right word, but what is coming to my mind is to, for example, you are in a situation and then you use the things that are in your means to make better of that situation.
Beautiful.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you very much for that. Have you
All right.
used it before? Have you been in a situation and then you use what is available to you in the midst of those things or that situation to make the most of the situation? Have you? Any
I
example?
I should have, but there's
Mhm.
none coming to mind now.
Okay, thank you. Please pick somebody else to talk.
Yeah. Okay, I'll pick John.
Okay, is John here? Okay. Okay, John, please, let's have your understanding of leverage, how you've used it before, and what result.
Uh, Hello, good evening,
Hi,
sir. Good evening, everybody.
good
All
morning
right,
from here.
okay, sir.
Mm.
So, leverage. I think leverage is from the word lever. A
Beautiful. I
mechanic.
like that. Thank you very much for that root word that you gave us. Please continue.
Okay, so lever is like a mechanical equipment used to balance maybe weight. I think something like that.
Mhm.
So leverage from that word is a a way of um, getting influence from things, situations, or people to help and balance whatever you're trying to, maybe a project trying to execute, or a maybe a business you're trying to execute. So
Okay.
that's the understanding I have about leverage. Have I used it before? Yes, a couple of times. Um, I my friends and colleagues. So I use their influence to do certain things. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. Please pick one more person so that we can listen to another insight. I mean, I love the way that you and Gloria have just helped us to, I mean, both of you coming from different perspectives, you coming from a mechanical perspective, Gloria coming from a relational perspective, which is very, very fantastic. So, who is the person that are picking John to also give us
Okay,
an
okay,
insight of leverage?
let me pick Taiwo Inyang.
Okay, Taiwan Young, please, can we hear you? If you don't mind.
Okay.
Good
Okay.
evening. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Usually when we say leverage, say let's leverage on something. So it gives the idea that whatever it is something that gives you a higher advantage,
Mm,
a higher advantage majorly,
yeah.
and makes you stand stronger or better.
Mm.
And that's just the layman's way that I can.
Thank you very much for that.
Although
Have
we
you?
use it.
Yes, you. I mean, want to
we-
hear your own experience now. Have you used it to an advantage to make yourself stronger, better? I mean, you want to share an experience with us?
Comes to mind now, but I know we use this regularly. Just say, let's leverage on, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Something we use regularly.
yeah. Thank you. So John just gave us a very philosophical and contextual and philosophical, because we all use this word a lot, leverage. In fact, all of us, virtually every day, we leverage on one thing or the other. All of us are where we are because we've leveraged on our parents' resources at some point in time. We leverage on, but when you now start to adopt a strategic perspective to some of these things that are common, that is what makes the ordinary extraordinary. And that is why we are here today to discuss leverage. And if I must also say, some of the things we discuss at Thrive are not, they are not the usual. I mean, it's not a motivational session. As I said, it's a sharing session. So we just share and we look at various fundamental principles, fundamental or subtle things, subtle like leverage. I mean, just talking about leverage is not your kind of run-of-the-mill topic that you will go to seminars to go and discuss and all that. But because I like to just observe life, I like to reflect on things. How are things working? How are they not working? Why and what? That also helps me to see some very subtle things that maybe will just be not so obvious to the average eyes. And those are some of the things that we come to discuss here at Thrive, so that we can see, let's look at it from another perspective, a way that we can make ourselves better, improve our own outcome by taking a lens look at these terms and this concept as they apply to our individual lives and our affairs. So, with our pause and ponder, is a quote from John D. Rockefeller, and it says, I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. John D. Rockefeller, I think, probably the first billionaire in American history. And this guy knows how to make money, how to earn money. In fact, his Standard Oil was so big, so massive that the US government had to break it because it was becoming such a massive monopoly. That's when you now start having the likes of ExxonMobil, all those energy companies that we know, they all came from Standard Oil because because it was getting bigger than the country. So this is somebody that knows how to make money, how to earn money, John D. Rockefeller. And he says that I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. And that is leverage. That is leverage. And just like Gloria said, when you are in the midst of where you use what is there to make the most of something, John said, okay, use liver, use other people's liver to achieve your own to achieve your own objectives. And John also tell us, okay, very profound. We'll use leverage every day in everyday lingo, but how you now look at it from a philosophical perspective. And 1% of 100 people gives you 100 automatically. But because you are now multiplying yourself in like 100 places, you're bound to get bigger results. Because even if it's just his own 100%, they won't be as big. They won't have that kind of momentum, that impact that will have go from 100 people. So I want us to think about this and then ponder on it. It is very profound that I would rather earn 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own efforts. And that is what we are pointing out today. Now, let's look at leverage in practice. And when we use it as a success strategy, it means that we identify small actions, relationships, tools, or principles that can generate disproportionately large results. That means this, just like Rockefeller was saying, that can get 100 people's efforts to give me bigger results. So what you're going to get as outcome is going to be disproportionate to what you put in. That means you are putting in little and getting in much. That is when you use leverage, because leverage, you are not just using your own resources, your own efforts, your own time, whatever it is that is your own. You're also using other people's resources. So when you use other people's resources, you have this multiplier effect. You get much more than what you would have got from one person. And that is leverage. It's something that I want us to there's not all of us, for us to be where we are today, we've leveraged on other people's assets, other people's efforts, other people's whatever, to get where we are in life, either through school, to whatever. But we just do this thing like a normal daily living. But I want us to start having a strategic mindset towards leverage and use it to improve outcome for ourselves, for our future. So that's practice. Now, in terms of framework of leverage, there are just these 6. There are more than this, obviously, but let's work with these 6 for now. Time leverage. When you use other people's time, other people's technology to free your own time, you leverage when people have time, you don't have time to do something, somebody else has time, and then you use the time to get done what you want to do, or you use the tech to get done what you want to do. And you use the time-saving tech, it gives you the same result. You save time. Why? Because you leverage time by what? Sourcing from other people. And then there's also skill leverage. Skill leverage, when you use land or borrow expertise to get result faster. That skill maybe doesn't, you are a writer, you are a mechanic, you are this, and it's not part of your core skills for what you do, your own calling or your own profession, but you've learned it, or you've been able to do it, and you use that skill to get results. Instead of taking your knockdown car to the mechanic, if you have mechanical skill, you know how to fix something, and you do it, and then you've leveraged your skill that you are not using every day for your own career, for your own work, for your whatever, but because you've had that skill, it becomes a leverage for you. Then you have relationship leverage. When you connect with the right people, there are places that you may not be able to go yourself. that you may not have a say, but you know people who could open doors for you there. When you use that relationship, then you are also leveraging on the relationship to get to your results, to get, to your success, to accelerate your growth. So we can leverage relationship. Let's not forget, in terms of we can leverage time, we can leverage skills, we can leverage relationship. In fact, this is one of the biggest forms of leverage, relationship. Then tool and tech, when you have systems, software, automation that will just help you to automate things, get things done, get more done, get more done, get them done faster and get more done with quality. Now, all these AI resources, those are mega, leverage. The AI, that's the leverage. People now use them for different things. I was telling you guys about my own experience at the last drive session. I was using AI to generate plugins, software. Now, I'm not from a tech background. I'm not a tech person, but because through my interaction with AI, and I'm not just using it just to generate text. Some people, it depends on at what level are you engaging it. I'm using it to generate plugins for my work, for my sites. So, and that is leverage. And what do I need to do? I just pay a monthly subscription, and I get as many things done using that tech. So that is leverage. Then there's also capital leverage. When you use money to achieve greater outcome, most of the time, other people's money or your own money. Capital leverage, you use other people's money to achieve. We'll still talk about this later when I'm going through a list of them, to get greater outcome. Because what you may not have all the resources in the world, we all know that resources are usually limited. But when you work with other people's resources, then you're able to get quantum quantity of what you would have just been able to muster on your own. Then knowledge leverage, when you apply established frameworks, established models, established knowledge about something to achieve your aim. Even this slide I'm presenting to you guys, this is a leverage. This whatever are not my original design. The templates are there, so I just leverage on the template. Somebody has already built all these things, these models. So I want to talk about this. Let me look at the ones I can use, and I choose the one that fits my topic. So this is leverage. This is an example of leverage. We all do it, but we have to be more strategic the way we look at it, the way we approach it in our day-to-day lives. Then, how do we leverage for career success? Very important. Because very first thing is mentorship. One good mentor can give you shortcut of 5 years of trials and error. When you have a good mentor, a solid mentor, his advice or our guidance can help you to bypass 5 years that you will have been blundering in trials and error in that particular career. That's why we're all encouraged to get a mentor. Have a mentor, somebody who can mentor you, who sees you from a detached perspective, and can offer you dispassionate advice to help you to achieve your growth, to help you to achieve your target. Delegation is also another way we can use leverage to achieve career success. If you are a leader, you lead a team, you can delegate tasks, the tasks that is important, but you don't have to do it yourself. Just, give them to other people, other members of the team. That also helps them to feel being sense of the part of the team, a sense of belonging, a sense of accomplishment when they continue to get it done. So you free your own time for more important work that are high impact to your own role than the ones that don't really add much to the organizational goal. So Delegation is another way we can use leverage to enhance career success. Networking, relationship, as we know, is very fundamental to career success because there are just some jobs that they may not even advertise. Even if they're advertising them, some of them they advertise just to feel all righteousness, but most of the time they will have had the people they are going to employ. And that's maybe somebody that knows somebody that, oh, that has recommended somebody. So when you have good networking, skills, and you have good relationship leverage, then you're able to advance your career opportunities to get those prime jobs. And this is very critical to career success. Then tech, the right tool will help you to get more done and achieve more in record time when you use the right tool. So tech is a leverage. It's a leverage. So we need to have this mindset about this term that we all use commonly every day. That what I mean, how can I use it to better myself, to improve my outcome, to get better results in life? Then for business success, when if you are running a business, if you're running a business, tech or system, when you automate, when you have tools that can help you to automate systems, automate processes, build once, benefit forever. That is a wonderful leverage because that what it means is that you don't have to continue to do the same thing over and over and over because you've been able to build that system that can automate and replicate the process with quality control already embedded in it. That means that that problem is solved forever. What you just need to do is that maintaining, we just have to invest in maintenance so that the system doesn't break down or the system can also be upgraded to even do better. So for you to achieve career success, you have to be looking at how do you institute systems and automation to leverage your processes, leverage your output, leverage your leverage your process so that you can get improved output, bigger earnings, and whatever it is that is your business goal. And when you also use time, when you hire the right team to join your organization, to join your business, that is also very fundamental to business success. Somebody says that at any point in time you will always have to uh, engage people to work with you, to be in a team, but you may not always get it right, but you must at least don't you can't afford not to get it more than 50% right, because you have to get the right people in for any system to survive, for any business to survive. Business systems, all this stuff, they are run by human beings. So when you get your hiring right, you hire the right people, the right team, that is one of the best leverages you can give your business for success. And you can give yourself. So that because the right people will be able to drive the vision, drive pilot the mission towards achieving the corporate goal. So that is a wonderful leverage for business success. Hiring. You save time, you also save uh, many other things as well. Then partnership, what we call collaboration. This is leveraging in terms of relationship. Then even if as a business you don't have enough resources to want to maybe employ everybody that you can employ, you can collaborate with others who have expertise in the areas where you are deficient, and through that collaboration you are leveraging on one another's strengths, one another's capacities to get results. And this is now so common among businesses, big businesses, small businesses, when they collaborate just for maybe a particular project or for a certain specified time. So this also helps you to achieve business success, helps you to expand your impact, to increase your revenue and get better stuff at the end of the day. And then funding, when you use other people's money to start or to scale your business, very important. We all know, the story of the richest man in Africa, Dangote, that he used the fund given to him by his uncle. That's how he started his business. Money given to him by his uncle. That's other people's money. Wasn't his money he used to start? And see where he is today. So you can leverage on funding by using other people's capital, other people's money to achieve. But you have to be very disciplined in this area. Why? Because people, when you have money, if you can just that's when it's time to shop, to start to splurge, to start to no. You've got to learn how to be disciplined, have fiscal discipline, so that the money you have, you use it to grow the business, to expand your operations, to better your processes. So it is very important that you use other people's money responsibly, because maybe you have to pay it back if it's a loan or whatever it is. Even if it's not a loan, use it responsibly, use it diligently, use it, in a very judicious manner. And for your own business success, it's very important that we note this. Then, when we want to now, we're talking in terms of, I want to leverage. How do I even know I need to leverage? What are the things I need to consider in leveraging? Now, these are some critical questions. They are not exhaustive. So there are others that you can always ask, that we can also think about. What 20% of my actions can create 80% of my results, or are currently creating 80% of my results? That helps you to know what you should focus on and what you should delegate or what you outsource. What 20% of my actions, of my inputs, are generating or can generate 80% of results? That is a question that will help you to know where to put your priority and your attention, and where to delegate, where to outsource. And then, in terms of still now determining leverage, what can I delegate? Among all the things I'm doing now, what can I delegate? What can I automate? And what can I eliminate? Very important 3 questions to what can I delegate? All these things I'm doing now, all the things you're doing. Can I delegate any of this without any adverse effect? Can I automate this? Instead of doing this myself every day, every day, can I automate it? Can I get it done another way, through a system that will just generate it and then it keeps working? Well, this one, it's not really adding value to me. It's not adding value to my business, to my career, to my whatever. Can I just eliminate it altogether? So once you're able to, it also makes your life optimized. It helps you to optimize your processes and your operations. And then what you want to ask, who or what has already solved this problem? There's saying that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. If the wheel has been invented, why reinvent another one? If somebody else has already solved this problem, if somebody else has already created this, why do you want to do? Why not just use what is already there? It will be cheaper and faster, because if you are starting your own, you still have moments of trials and error. But for the ones that somebody has they've already done all those processes, why not just use that? It's cheaper, it's faster. You leverage on time. So if somebody has already solved the problem you are facing, why not just seek them out? Why not learn from how they solve it, or from their solution? And then, what are the long-term consequences of this? If I'm taking this decision, what are the long-term consequences? Will it be adverse? Will it be dire? Will it be trivial? So you've got to know, okay, the impact of the decision you are going to make. What is it going to be like? And you have to be very, very dispassionate in answering this question, so that you don't deceive yourself or just try to butter yourself up by, I mean, just trying to cover up when you know that there's really a deep-seated issue beneath that you need to address. So, what are the long-term consequences of every decision we're about to make? Is it really worth it in the long term? If it's not, why not? Why do it in the first place? Or why undertake that venture in the first place? Then how can I build or join a system that works while I sleep? How can I build one? This system, when I'm sleeping, the system is working, is just generating income, is impacting lives, is fulfilling my goals. Either I'm awake or I'm asleep. Or how do I join a system where they have that going for them so that I can leverage on what they are doing to also achieve my own goal? So it's either you build one or you join what is already existing. And just like we said earlier, why revert it? If there's already a will, why revert it? Why just roll along with it? And then these are some of the list of leverages, just like I mentioned earlier. You can leverage other people's skills to achieve your own goal. You can leverage other people's knowledge. Or other people know. You can use that to achieve you can leverage other people's goodwill, their good name. You may not be so credible, but you have people that are very credible, who have goodwill and all that. You can leverage on them just by meeting them, helping them to put in a word for you, and you get your goal. Then you can leverage on other people's efficiency where you are deficient, where you don't seem to measure up or you don't have the time. You can leverage the efficiency of your colleagues, your teammates, your friends, your family members to get it done better, faster, and maybe even finer. So leverage on their efficiency. You can leverage other people's work when they've already done it. Why reinvent it if they've already done it? Why reinvent the wheel? You can reference that, build on it, and work with it. If they allow you to, then other people's time to get things done faster and better. You can leverage other people's time. I mean, you don't have to do everything yourself. Other people's money, very important. I mean, to start your business, to scale your business, to execute your project, to get it done. All of us, we leverage on our parents' money to go to school. I'm not sure how many of us funded ourselves from primary school to university, this and all that. So we've been leveraging really. It's just that, okay, if you have thought about it, that this thing is a leverage I'm using, how could I have made it better? How could I have made the most of it? Maybe we would have been much more, maybe we have been smarter the way we actually approach our academics there and all that. The other people's networks, they know people that you don't know. You can leverage on their goodwill, on their networks to put your foot in there in the right place and have a say where it matters as well. Then you can leverage on other people's credit. Other people's credit. This is, I mean, in like America here. I mean, I think in the first world, really, where there's a lot of credit, you can leverage on other people's credit to actually improve your own and then maybe to get result for yourself. I mean, they have good credit. Maybe you are a JJC, you are a newcomer, they maybe they recommend you for a loan or for a credit facility and using their own credit. So you can actually leverage on that to get to achieve what you want to achieve. You want to buy something, you want to do something, you want to start a project, you want to start a business. So you can use the credit to do that. Then other people's mistakes. When they've made the mistake, why do you want to repeat the mistake other people have made? Once you've seen that somebody has made this mistake, then you should be able to what? Correct them before you go into the same venture. Have you analyzed their mistakes? Why did they make mistakes? What are the things they did wrong? What are the things they should have done that they did not do? And then you use those insights to do yours better. So you can leverage on other people's mistakes for your own success. Then other people's spills and irritation, what irritates people, You can use it as leverage to start a business, to start a service. People hate this thing, people don't like this thing. I can create a business to be removing it for them. And that is a business. If you look at most businesses around, it's from this, what people are irritated about, what people don't, what they are complaining about. Somebody just create a business around it and they are meeting people's needs. So you can actually be very observant and see what is irritating people. And how, if you have skills in that area, can you turn it into a solution? Yeah, other people's madness. This, I mean, for us in Nigeria, I have the saying that in Nigeria, every public development that happens, some people will make comedy, and we do that a lot. Some people will make money, some people will make noise. So some people will make comedy. Every just if you guys, I mean, you guys are all Nigerian, just look at any public whatever that is happening in Nigeria. Some people will make comedy from it. Everybody will laugh. And now that you can actually monetize the comedies, it's good. Some people will make money. While some people are making noise, and some people are making money from that same scenario, and that they are doing one thing or the other, and they are making cool money from it. And SARS, with all the whatever, some people made money from that madness, and some people will just make noise. So it depends, where do you want to be? You want to be on the path, on the side of those who are making noise, those who are making comedy, or those who are making money. So that is leverage. You have to be observant to say, okay, what are the opportunities in this craziness? And how can I appropriate it for my own to my own advantage? So I think the next thing is just quotes, very profound quotes on leverage that I saw. And uh, Archimedes is a Greek philosopher, and he says that give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, and I will move the world. Give me a place to stand and a lever long enough, and I will move the world. Say, I can do it. I will shake the world if I have a good platform and a good lever to drag the world with me. Then Naval Ravikant says that leverage is a force multiplier for your judgment. Now, this is a two-edged sword. If you because it may just leverage and they go and leverage on the wrong thing. So if you go and leverage on the wrong thing, it will multiply. So that means you are multiplying bad results. So your judgment was a very, very spot on for you to be able to make the most of leverage. And then Warren Buffett also says similar thing, that when you combine ignorance and leverage, you get some pretty interesting results. He's also agreeing with Ravikant about how to use leverage. So you can't leverage in ignorance. You've got to leverage with intelligence. That's why, remember, we asked some questions that you need to ask before you choose how you leverage, where you leverage, what you leverage. Then Isaac Newton, very fundamental, this very profound for me. It says that if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. I know Isaac Newton redefined mathematics, redefined physics, redefined many things. I mean, it's that, colossal. And it says that if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. That means he leveraged the heights of giants, established knowledge, established norms, established stuff, things that were already there. He just leveraged those to be able to see further, to be able to, take the world by storm. And then Voltaire said that originality is little more than judicious imitation. As in, you don't need to what reinvent it. We can always just adapt what is already there, and then for your own purpose, for your own advantage. And then Kirby Ferguson also, says the same thing, that everything is a remix. It's a remix too. That means originality. Yes, we have some original, but you can always adapt, bring out new from even the old, and then make it your own. So those are some of the quotes that I think I need to share that video with us again of Dr. Maduka so that we can listen to it.
You call cash. The first level of money is what we call credibility. Credibility is things you do on a constant basis over a period of time that is recorded, that people can trace to, and then people can say, this is who this person is. Credibility is the first level of money. The second level of money is what we call credible relationship. Credible relationship, you don't have cash, but you have me, and I can avail my credibility to you. If you go to Coscharis today, the cheapest car we sell is Chinese car, which is 32 million. If you ask us to give it to you and in 2 weeks you will pay, you know we will not give it to you because we don't have record of your credibility. But if Dangote call us and say you are in our place and we should let you go with Range Rover, which is 450 million, or Rolls-Royce, which is 1.4 billion, that you will pay in 2 weeks, and he knows you, if you didn't pay, he will pay. Do you think we'll let you go with the car?
Fast.
We will. Why? Because Dangote gave his word. He availed his credibility to you. You don't have it, but somebody availed it to you. You don't have cash, but you have somebody who can give you his credibility. That's another level of money. And that's why I tell young people, if a rich man gives you cash, he has cheated you. What you need is access. Let him keep his door open for you, that you can call him and he pick your call, because that can put billions in your account, or not 50,000 or 100,000 or 1 million naira. What you need from a wealthy man is access. So the first level of money is credibility. Second level of money is credible relationship. The third level of money is one of the most scarce commodity in Nigeria, and you can only make profit in a product that is not available, and that is called integrity. It's not in plenty supply. Not many places you can see it. So what is integrity? Integrity is not what you will do when people know. Integrity is what you will do if you know there's no way it can ever be discovered. Nobody can find out what you did, and you still choose to do the right thing. That's my definition of integrity. The fourth level of money is what we call character.
Character and integrity different.
They're different. Character is the foundation of any man's life, any woman's life. This building wall crack, the Métis person will say repair it. But if foundation has problem, they will say bring this building down. Character is a foundation of leadership. Character is not what many people understand it to be. That's why God is character. Why is God character? Because he's holy. The word holy refers to God. Character is like alphabet. 2 is 2 in Japan, in Saudi Arabia, in Dubai, in China. It doesn't become 3 in China. By 2 a.m., character is a statue like Victoria. It does not say, oh, this sun is too hot, let me go in the shade. It doesn't say, oh, the rain is coming, typhoon is coming, let me run under the table. You come there by 2 a.m. standing there. Any man or a woman that have a character will be successful and will make wealthy. But it doesn't come easy. Character is also very scarce. The fifth level of money is what we call competence. You got to know what you are doing. It's not just enough to speak in tongue. It's not just enough to pray. Because some prayers we are making is useless. You pray in a miss. When you are not doing the correct thing, you need to be competent. You need to be properly schooled. That's why people need to give themselves mentor. The last and the least level of money, everybody understands what money is cash. Anybody who you see that have money and they doesn't have these 5 things is a thief. He stole the money.
Try.
So let me go back to my slide. So I think on that note, I would like to say thanks to everybody for joining today and for listening. Do you have any questions? Any questions, please? Let's take them now. Questions? No question? Okay, because I think if in case you are not already on the channel yet, please you can join us on any of this channel, WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. you will see all these recordings there, and then on the website. These are the channels where you can be able to get these and other materials that are also maybe get to talk about or share from time to time. So till next month, when we meet in the last Sunday in the month of July, I want to say have a fantastic new month starting on Tuesday. I'll see you guys next time. From here, bye.